So Laura and I just filled up for our second leg of our Alaska trip here in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Cheapest gas so far, or fuel I should say, diesel. $2.93 a gallon. So we just crossed over into Louisiana on Interstate 10. And of course, Louisiana roads, I-10 is living up to its reputation. So we slow it down a little bit. But Laura did find out a little bit about the rest areas that might be informational purposes.
I was just in the visitor center here in Louisiana, and she told me that all of their rest areas allow RVers to spend the night. If you're tired on the road, it's not a 4-hour limit. They also have a dump station.
Cool.
So,
just FYI, you can spend overnight in Mississippi rest areas also. So we're approaching the famous Baton Rouge or Baton Rouge Bridge. Horace Wilkinson Bridge. I don't care how many times you drive across bridges like this, when you're in a fifth wheel, it's a little intimidating. Especially when the roads aren't that great. Just drove through Baton Rouge and crossed the Mississippi River on the Horace Wilkinson Bridge. And I was talking about how just a little intimidating it is to drive across bridges like that when you pull in a big rig like this. But also, when the roads aren't that good, and let's face it, I-10 in Louisiana, Texas is not that great, even parts of Mississippi. Then you throw in there people, as Laura put it, just don't respect your size.
yeah.
So that leads me into my rant of the day, or travel day here. I tend to get frustrated at times, and some of you guys tell us, whenever you're driving and you come up to a merge, whether it's you trying to get over to let someone merge onto the interstate, or someone is merging onto the interstate because you can't get over, that doesn't speed up and or adjust their speed to merge on the traffic, and then all of a sudden they run out of space and they just floor it. Or the guy to your left floors it because he sees you with your blinker trying to get over. A little frustrating. But Laura did have a what's the word I'm looking for? There is one good thing about these roads that we're on right now on I-10.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they're good practice for the frost heaves that we're going to hit in Alaska.
Now, having said that, and I'm going to go over all this, but I've done some improvements on our rig suspension, everything from wet bolts to road armor to shocks. And also we put a new kingpin on MORryde. Just a quick note, look up the reason why Louisiana calls their parishes instead of counties.
To answer Mo's question, why are they called parishes in Louisiana and not counties? And this is the only state, Louisiana, that calls them parishes in lieu of counties. It is because the state's French and Spanish founders established a church-based system of parishes in colonial times. The boundaries of these parishes largely coincide with the colonial government's divisions. And that is the answer. It's been a long day.
So we finally make it to Texas, and we're heading down to Searim Park, and we have to get down on the coast, and as you can see, there's a lot of oil industry down here. So we finally make it to the park, and it's really not what I expected. It is a bayou, and it sits right on the Gulf Coast. I mean, we literally were within, 100 yards from the ocean itself. A really nice park. We got an opportunity to do a little inspection on the rig and everything, and that's kind of what we're doing in this leg of the trip. Okay, one of the things I do is I get under here after all my long trips and I will inspect the welds of all my mounting hardware for my suspension, to include my leaf springs for cracks. And today I found one of my shock mounts is loose. First time in almost a year that I've seen that. And I also found that one of my bolts holding my brackets for my shock is loose. You can see right here, I can move that shock. I can't move that one. Whoops. I cannot move this one. You can also see there's been some rubbing there. I do that after every long trip. A good rule of thumb is, if you don't know the torque on something, is to take it till it stops turning and take it a quarter to a half a turn. Depending on the size of the hardware, it really doesn't matter, because that would be what's called a wrench arc torque, and typically that's gonna be sufficient. But you do need to check them. Like I said, I have checked that these shock mounts on a regular basis, and this is the first time I've noticed that one has come loose. Check these outriggers. This is an outrigger. They run all the way down the length of the rig, welded at the base and bolted on at the floor of your rig itself. When you look at everything enough and you start seeing things that are out of the norm, you'll catch it really quick. Even if you're not 100% sure what you're looking at, you'll start seeing things that don't look like it did the last time. And since we're on this trip headed towards Alaska, I'm doing a little more detailed inspection than I usually do. Once I finished inspecting the rig, we got an opportunity just to hang out. We were only there for 3 days, but it was a cool little boardwalk that left the actual park down to the water itself. And this park was actually hit by the hurricanes back in 2008, and they call it the path of destruction. They really had a number done on this park, but they've done a really good job of fixing it back up. Horses are allowed on this beach. You can camp on this beach. You can fish. And quite honestly, Texas has done a really good job, and I don't know if you know this or not, but you don't even have to have a fishing license as long as you're fishing from the shore and your own state park grounds. You don't have to have a license. And we also did a little bit of crabbing, which I hadn't done since I was a little boy, and it was kind of cool. We didn't catch a whole lot of them, but you know, it was all fun, and it was a nice little break from the road, and the rig held up pretty good. I had to tighten up a bunch of stuff, as you've seen, and that's all part of it. We're getting ready for the Alaska road, man, and I hope y'all join us and enjoy the video. So this is the Gambusia Nature Trail. Did I say that right?
Gambusia? I don't know.
Gambusia. But
Yep.
if you look in here, this marsh area is rather large with what looks like a lake in the middle of it.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll take a little bit of a walk down here to get some footage, just to give you an idea of what it's like. Because right now this is low tide. You can see you have basically a stream. We're in a little deeper water.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, there's movement.
We've even created a little rapid right there. There are fish in there. See them? Right here. See them?
I do not.
Okay, come up here. Get with me. Come here with me. Okay, get ahead. There's a little school of fish. Right here. See them?
Oh, now I see them
Right
because
here.
they're kicking up.
Yeah. So if anybody fishes, you'll know that when the tide goes out, fish are going to run to those little few areas that keep water out. And that's pretty much just a little stream in the middle of this marsh that we were just trying to film and get. Mostly bait fish, but I'll guarantee you there's big redfish. You know, this trip to Alaska is so much more than just getting to Alaska and seeing Alaska. It's all about seeing the U.S. We left Florida in February, and we're planning on being in Alaska in May or June, and then coming back down to North Carolina. So we're going to stop as many places as we can. We hope you join us. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think. And I hope you enjoy the videos, guys, because I know I'm enjoying making them.